You just got wrecked.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Monday, back on the grind. Hope you're having an awesome day wherever you're at. To be completely honest with you, it's pretty boring in the markets right now. There's not too much price action. You have a couple coins that are pumping here and there, but the overall market is pretty much just in a sideways sort of slump right now. Bitcoin sitting around $3,578, XRP 32 cents, $117 Ethereum. Bitcoin dominance still just staying at 52.4%, and the market cap is at $119 billion. Now, if we have a look, we have a $3,578 Bitcoin, 32 cent XRP, and $117 Ethereum. Now, looking at the biggest gainers of the day, we have DEX up again, a whopping 211%, followed by Buggier Coin, 88%, also 10x, Loopring, GX, Steam, Factom, Project Pi, Tron, Repo, and VeChain also doing well. Now, having a look at these coins, guys, I mean, just diving into this, like, look, Buggier Coin, right? Up 88%. Let's look at these markets, all right? So this one's been excluded right here, okay? And they're only doing $41,000 worth of daily volume, guys. That's very, very, very low. That's something that you could easily get burned on, okay? And then having a look at the biggest gainer, DEX, let's see. Well, see now right here, there you could look at this. So they have $4.9 million worth of volume, okay, right, on Coinbit, but that's been excluded. So that volume is actually dropped down to only 121. Once again, very low, very volatile, very risky. I would be very cautious if you're going to try to chase this personally. I wouldn't get involved, but you do what you want. Now, also another coin that was down a lot more this morning was Haven Protocol. Now, as you can see right here, there's actually been, it had this sell-off and then boom, and now it's actually starting to go back up. Obviously, people are just trying to cash in on the fact that it dumped. Why did it dump? Well, we're going to get into that a little bit later today. Now, having a look at the charts, I'm just kidding, guys. You guys know I don't do crazy TA like this. Although yesterday we were actually talking about the crazy BART bots and the patterns and how it was the exact same fractal pattern almost down to the exact movements. Really crazy. Definitely tells us one thing for sure. These markets are being heavily, heavily manipulated. But if we have a look at where we are right now, this is where we had that major sell-off in the mid of November. We touched the low right here. And then it was around 3,100, and we haven't touched it ever since, but we are struggling to really make a breakout or a breakdown in either direction. So currently, this is what we're looking at. It's not that interesting. For all I know, I could put the video out and, you know, the price could skyrocket. I have no idea. But currently, pretty boring, not too exciting. Now, the one thing I really want to talk about, though, because this is actually real world events that are affecting crypto or could potentially be affecting crypto, is the US government shutdown. Now, they shut down on December 22nd, so we are approaching almost a month of the government being shut down. They're estimating daily losses of up to $200 million for federal contractors in delayed or lost revenue. And Trace Mayer, you might be familiar with him from the Proof of Keys movement that happened January 3rd. Well, he took to Twitter and he actually had some, well, he was almost just asking what you guys think about the government shutdown, but he had some opinions of his own. So as you can see right here, he says, will the U.S. government shutdown prolong the Bitcoin bear market? This may become a great opportunity to pick up some cheap Bitcoin from U.S. government workers not getting paid and have to sell part of their HODL gang stack. How do you feel about the shutdown and its effect on Bitcoin's the Bitcoin industry? Well, that's assuming that, you know, all these government workers actually own Bitcoin. Somebody actually came out here and said, you know, I feel sad for these people, and you suggest it's a good thing that they're forced to sell their Bitcoin at low prices. Makes me a little bit sick, Trace. To which he replies, that's great you feel sad for them, but to what degree? Are you willing to pay rent or buy food for any of these furloughed government workers, or just empty platitudes? Put the money where your emotions are and show how much you really care. And of course, we have the buy Bitcoin, very famous by now. So, getting back on that topic, okay? We've already had, as you can see right here, Backed has already been affected right now. So Backed got pushed back, Okay. And Trace also believes that the prolonged shutdown is changing time preference, which is encouraging the hodling investors to potentially make a move. Also, the fact that the government plans to stop food stamps in February and cash flow is already drying out is forcing people to liquidate their investments, including digital assets like Bitcoin. Actually, what's interesting here is, I didn't even know this, but if you look at this, here is how much money Americans have in savings. So this is as of 2018. 31.8% of Americans have $0 in savings. 26% have between $1 and $1,000. 15% between $1,000 and $5,000. 7% between $5 and $10,000, and 21% have over $10,000 in savings. This is pretty worrisome right here. 31.8% have $0 in savings. That's just an interesting point I just wanted to kind of bring up off topic. But the persistent crypto winter is not yet intertwined with the U.S. government shutdown, according to lawyer Jake Travinsky. Now, he's a crypto-friendly lawyer, guys. However, Director of External Affairs for Blockchain Association, Kristen Smith, confirmed that the shutdown puts a halt to some of the conversations between regulators and lawmakers about the general merits, right, of the token economy. So as the shutdown takes a toll on the economy, causing decreasing cash flow, hodlers are engaging in frantic, desperate selling of their Bitcoins to sustain their daily livelihoods. Hence, it is a perfect time for speculators to purchase with the prices of Bitcoin oscillating in the lows. Now, take this with a grain of salt, because number one, this assumes that all these people that have government jobs actually own Bitcoin. And then number two, it assumes that they're so unbelievably desperate that they have no other choice but to sell Bitcoin. We know that a very, very small fraction of people actually own Bitcoin. Only 8% have ever purchased it in the US alone. So my question to you is there anyone out there that has a government job that's watching right now? How has it affected you? Do you feel the need to sell your Bitcoin? Are a lot of other people that you associate with maybe at your job, do they hold Bitcoin? I'm very curious in hearing how and if this actually will have any effect on it whatsoever moving forward. So talking about the overall sentiment of Bitcoin, we have Alistair Milne, the Monaco-based co-founder and chief investment officer of cryptocurrency-focused hedge fund Atlanta Digital Currency Fund, said that he remained bullish on Bitcoin and explained why. In fact, he had a little mini tweet storm, which I'd like to go over. So he says, as early Bitcoin investors, we used to speculate about how it was an asymmetric investment opportunity, i.e. you could lose 80% or several multiples on your investment. Now, with more regulatory certainty and Bitcoin being 80% down from the all-time high, the asymmetric opportunity is absolutely explicit. Bitcoin may drop, and eventually retest its all-time high at 5x. This depends. The probability that Bitcoin matches its all-time high price again and doesn't then continue past seems very low. Each wave of adoption is an order of magnitude bigger than the last. Price expectations of hodlers rise exponentially. He says, I wouldn't be selling at 19K the next time. Bitcoin has reached mainstream awareness. Almost everyone has heard of it. I think we can agree that pretty much almost everyone has heard of Bitcoin. Maybe not everyone, but I'd say most people in the US at least have heard of Bitcoin, right? So then he says, investors are now very aware that Bitcoin is like trading gold with 100x leverage, and next year, Bitcoin's inflation/production rate will actually be lower than gold. We actually spoke about this in a video. No one appears to doubt the usefulness of gold as an investment. They shouldn't doubt gold 2.0. It takes time for sentiment to change. 30 to 50 million people owning crypto is not the industry's peak. That's actually pathetic when you think about how many people are in the world. 7.4 billion. Roughly 30 to 50 own crypto? Come on, guys. So, the next bull run will decide which public blockchains persist for the next 100 years. He says, personally, I believe Bitcoin is currently the only sure thing. And then he goes on to say, just want to let you know, I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist. I'm just an altcoin skeptic. So that's positive news as well. Now, if you just want to look at some statistics, we don't have to just take some guy's opinion for it. According to new data provided by Crypto Compare in its monthly exchange review, while the general volume of Bitcoin trading was generally down in December, futures trading grabbed an increased share of the volume and actually increased in value. And on top of that, Just looking at Bitcoin purchases worldwide, we obviously know the Venezuelans have been purchasing it up, but look at this. You can also see that Argentina, Colombia, Peru, and Chile are pretty much at all-time highs for Bitcoin purchases as well. Also, if we just look at some data that was gathered by Rhythm Trader, Bitcoin's yearly lows are up nearly consistently year over year. So a lot of people tend to look at the all-time high and be like, oh, Bitcoin was 20K, now it's, 3,000 whatever. Well, yeah, great store of value, right? Okay, if you look at it from that perspective, but why don't we take it and flip it and look at the lows, right? So Bitcoin's yearly lows are up consistently for the most part, except for there was a hiccup in 2014, but Mt. Gox was a heck of a black swan event, guys. I mean, no one saw that coming. But if you look at it, in 2012, Bitcoin's yearly low was at a mere $4. Now that same figure is 3,200, which is a jaw-dropping 80,000% gain over the course of 7 years. Name one other asset class that does that. Can you guys think of one? I can't. So as you can see right here, look, 2012, we have the Bitcoin low, $4, 2013, 65, 2014, 200, 2015, this is the Mt. Gox thing, okay? So 185, 2016, 365, 2017, 780, 2018, 3,200. So you got to admit, the lows keep getting higher. So with this in mind, while also considering anecdotal evidence, Rhythm Trader concluded that Bitcoin has effectively undergone a whole decade of sustained growth. But Bitcoin's value isn't the only crypto-related statistic to have boomed within the same time period. Also, per data from blockchain.com, hash rate has swelled from 10 terahashes per second in 2012 to 38 million terahashes today. The number of Bitcoin transactions has also swelled, with there now being approximately 250,000 processed on the blockchain each and every day. So guys, I always like to throw this in there. Don't be like Greg. He said, I wish I had kept my 1,700 Bitcoin at 6 cents instead of selling them at 30 cents. Now they're $8. Oh, shucks. Anyway, moving on, let's talk about someone who doesn't see a bright future for Bitcoin, and that is Soulja Boy. He says that Bitcoin and crypto's glory days are now in the rearview mirror. Too many people know about it. Does anybody really care what Soulja Boy actually thinks about Bitcoin? I didn't think so, so we're going to move on. Now, here's the interesting thing. Now, in 2018, with the exception of Bitcoin and several other crypto assets, the majority of cryptocurrencies fell more than 90% against the US dollar. So the question is, why are crypto executives still positive and still bullish on the space? Well, especially those executives that are leading new initiatives and business in the emerging industry actually believe that the bear market has presented companies with positive opportunities to rebuild the foundations of the asset class and the sector. So according to the data provided by All-Time High Coin Index, you can see most major crypto assets like Ripple, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Cardano, etc. have fallen by 90 to 97% from their all-time high against the US dollar. Now, Bitcoin actually performed pretty damn good, only falling 82%, roughly, right? So, anyway, you have Sherry Kaiserman, the principal advisor of a U.S. investing and recruiting company, said, we felt like the best way to make money is to buy infrastructure companies, the picks and shovels, that are helping build the foundation. They're coming in valuation, which is the best part of crypto winter for us. So, at the peak of the crypto market in late 2017, many blockchain protocols were valued at billions of dollars, and the majority of projects failed to showcase working products and active user bases. In the past 14 months, blockchain projects have fallen to a reasonable valuation, presenting opportunities for investors to acquire equity in infrastructure building companies. So, as reported earlier, the salary of blockchain developers in regions like Switzerland, for example, have increased to around $180,000, triggered by a growing interest in blockchain technology. But job offers in crypto, at least in the past year, have mostly been presented by blockchain companies that have obtained capital through token sales. So as blockchain protocols begin to decline in valuation and teams started to experience a funding crunch, developers and talent were let go, right? We saw a lot of companies downsizing. Anyone from Consensus to Bitmain were letting go of some of their team members, right? So, As blockchain protocols began to let go of these members, you notice that other companies were able to sort of pick these guys up. So SIRIN Labs CEO Adam Jawan told Bloomberg that it has allowed newly entering companies and existing established businesses to be able to recruit these talents. So the skepticism is warranted in many ways because this technology is nascent and untested at an industrial scale. But he says that our hope is that this presents us with a great opportunity to recruit talent. So what is the point of all this? Well, the point of all this is that there are companies out there that are still building. They are very serious. And the guys that are actually here for the tech and not for quick, fast gains are the ones that are actually still building and pushing this forward. In fact, I was just looking at a tweet from Digital Lawrence, and he was saying that he's gotten to all these different conferences this year. And the one thing that he's noticed is the fact that now the people at the conferences are the people who are actually in it for the tech, that want to be in the space because they see the potential of the future in this technology, not just trying to flip ICOs. So that is definitely a good move moving forward, I believe, not to mention the fact that you have this from the United Nations. So in a year-end report on the global economy, the UN calls a new frontier in digital finance. According to them, crypto and blockchain technology at large have the potential to create new and revolutionary business models that cut red tape and dramatically increase efficiency. Now, if you guys are interested, you can come down here and read a little bit about it. The report was called World Economic and Social Survey 2018, and it dives into the advantages of crypto, blockchain, and distributed ledger technology. So these are actually some excerpts from it. This one talks about the new frontier. Blockchain and crypto have many uses. They give examples. And then innovation comes from inherent trust. So if you guys want, I'll drop that below. You can actually read that for yourselves. Okay, now here's a company I wanted to talk about. So this is Rakuten. I think that's how you pronounce it. They're the largest e-commerce store in Japan, is most likely going to introduce Bitcoin as a means of payment on the e-commerce website after April 2019. Now this is from reports from Cointelegraph in Japan. Last year, the e-commerce giant entered the cryptocurrency space after it acquired everybody's Bitcoin back in September 2018. And when I say everybody's Bitcoin, I don't literally mean everybody's Bitcoin. If we refer back to this article that came out back in August, it says that they pretty much bought an exchange, and the exchange was called everybody's Bitcoin. So now that we've got that cleared. All right, so it looks like they're going through a corporate restructuring in which its various business and subsidiaries will be consolidating into 4 major businesses. You have internet service, communication, fintech, and settlements, and they're hoping this is going to be done by April. So according to the documents released by them, everybody's Bitcoin will become part of their settlements business rather than the fintech business, okay? They also publicly have shown support for cryptocurrency payments. They said the role of cryptocurrency-based payments in e-commerce, offline retail, and in P2P payments will grow in the future, and they are lining up to be one of those at the front to support this when that, explosion actually does happen. So talking about some better news right now, let's get on to some coin news of the day. The decentralized marketplace Open Bazaar says it's releasing a new app designed to give users a fully private way to shop, chat, and send crypto. The app is called Haven. Wow, what are the odds of that? The team says it's coming soon, although there's no official launch to date. The app will utilize Open Bazaar's wallet, which supports currently Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Zcash. Support for Ethereum is planned for the near future. Now, I want to talk about the mobile game Neo Girl has launched its public beta. We spoke about this the other day. The game is based on the Neo blockchain, and according to its developers, lets players interact with the main character, Luna, and also develop a friendship with her. So, as a simulation game based on Neo blockchain technology, Neo.Girl has added blockchain technology to the gene systems where the character's original genes can be inherited by the characteristic features such as hair color, skin color, eyes, height, and so on for each girl. So it's basically like CryptoKitties but with people, right? Where you can like pass on traits of each other. So here's the actual video right here. I'm just curious to see what some of this what the gameplay is like.
It's not a big deal, actually. When you're away, I tried making this. I've always wanted to do something for you, but I can't do complex things, so I learned from a book and I made this. Do you like it?
Okay, so that's Neo Girl, guys. You can have your virtual girlfriend on the Neo blockchain. Moving on, I want to talk about SIRIN Labs. They've been focused on developing a blockchain smartphone in an attempt to corner the market for cryptocurrency enthusiasts and investors. Now, you may be familiar with them, right? So they have their phone. It's the Finny phone. The phone includes a range of features for cryptocurrency investors. It's got a cold storage wallet, its own crypto payment service. It runs on its own native SIRIN operating system, which can operate decentralized apps. It was named after Hal Finney, which I didn't even put those together when I first heard that, which is interesting. He's the computer scientist that was one of the earlier Bitcoin adopters. Some people think he might be Satoshi, one of the people that they think might be Satoshi. But anyway, point of this is SIRIN Labs completely revamped its London retail store to adjust for the Finny smartphone, which began shipping last week. The location was strategic as the company hopes that the store becomes a gathering place for cryptocurrency enthusiasts in the area. The store is more specifically located in the Mayfair district of London and will also sell smartphone accessories and clothing as well. Now, here's an interesting story, guys. Now, we know that Bitcoin's not private, right? Like, you can see all the transactions, but you don't know who owns the Bitcoin. You know the address, but you don't know the owner of the address. And also, another thing is we were speaking about Bitcoins that are clean Bitcoin being sold, 20% premium, because these guys don't want to touch these dirty Bitcoins that have been, possibly laundered and stuff like that, right? So now they are saying that there may be a way to trace these stolen Bitcoins, because up until now, these guys would put them in mixers, mix them with some clean ones, and, send them out everywhere, and you'd have no way of knowing, right? So that's one of the biggest advantages of the blockchain, is the fact that you can have transactions publicly seen, right? So going on over here, they talk about computer scientists have always held out the hope that there may be a clever way to track the proceeds of these Bitcoins used for crime. So there's a new algorithm called Taint Chain, and it has the potential to give law enforcement agencies an entirely new and powerful way to track the proceeds of cryptocurrency crime for the first time ever. So this is quite an extensive read, guys, but you have Anderson and company that have come up with a different tracking method based on legislation known as Clayton's Law. So this established the first in, first out principle, which stipulates that when it comes to divvying up funds from an account, the first person to have paid in is the first person to be paid out. This principle has become part of law all over the world. Yeah, guys, I'm not going to go into this, but check this out. It's kind of a long article, but apparently they figured out a way to trace dirty Bitcoin. Okay, that's basically the objective of the article. So finally, before we get on out of here, we have the Bitfury Group, an early Bitcoin mining firm turned global blockchain company based out of London, has announced that it will launch an entertainment division tasked with developing an open source music platform that runs on the blockchain. The open source platform, labeled Surround TM, will purportedly simplify the safe transferal of copyright assets. At the very core of the project is the creation of an environment that allows musicians to manage their affairs far more efficiently. This includes monitoring their output, being able to see what works, and most importantly, what doesn't. According to Bitfury, Surround TM will lead the way in promoting innovation within the music industry. So it says the platform itself will look to provide a digital system for both monetizing and sharing intellectual property. And Bitfury Surround CEO Stefan Schultz, a veteran of the entertainment and music industry, said that although the actual platform being put together is being developed as we speak, it wouldn't be near completion for quite a while. So don't get too excited. Long story short. However, if that doesn't make you happy, someone's been putting these stickers all over the place. So if we zoom in over here, we can see cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, old-fashioned digital cash, and then Bitcoin. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. So, that being said, guys, that's it for me today. Obviously, as usual, if you have not had a chance yet to pick up a Ledger Nano S to keep your cryptocurrencies safe, what are you waiting for? Also, you can pre-order the Ledger Nano X block, Genesis block edition, which is still available right here, guys. As you guys know, if you use my link in the description, you are supporting the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and I really genuinely do appreciate it. Also, guys, I did not forget about the One Ledger interview. Don't worry, the community interview is is coming out tonight. It was getting a little late last night. I didn't put it out. Plus, on top of that, literally everyone was talking about the football game. I mean, even if you went on crypto Twitter, that's pretty much what everybody was talking about. So I figured, why don't we just wait for Monday? Everyone's back on the grind, you know? So this is dropping tonight. It'll be out between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today, guys. I hope you enjoy the start to your week. Let's have a quick look. Let's see. Did anything change? Yeah, pretty much still sitting around the same. Okay, so that's it for me today, guys. It's Monday, back on the grind. Seriously, shout out to everyone that's been liking, subscribing, commenting. You guys freaking rock. Everyone that's been joining the Telegram group, using the affiliate links to support the channel, signing up for the newsletter, following me on Twitter. Honestly, I don't even care. Just drop me a comment. Say hello. I just love having you stop by. Seriously, you rock. My name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto and peace out.